all for being here tonight. Some friendly new faces, and some people who we know quite well. So we're delighted that you're all here with us. Linda and I were trying to figure out when she came here last, and I don't know if any of you were here then, but it was probably about 10 years ago. So it's about, we all decided it was about time that she came back. So we're happy to have her here this evening, and I'll tell you a couple of things about her. Linda Statam is a student, a lifelong student of mind-body science. Her experience encompasses neuropsychology, energy healing, spirituality, hypnosis, and life coaching. In 2005, she developed a unique holistic approach to stress reduction and mind-body mechanics. This simple science-based model outlines the mechanics of stress, showing the interplay between the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual states of being. It provides a valuable key to controlling how we feel from moment to moment, both physically and emotionally. Through an understanding of mind-body mechanics, we can learn how to consciously gain control of all aspects of our lives. Linda has a private practice in Southampton, which she has had since 2005, and she lectures widely through civic groups and community centers. It's an honor to have her here this evening. Please welcome Linda Statam.
Thank you, Penny, for the introduction, and welcome everybody. Glad you're here to join me in getting a good night's sleep. Sleep seems so simple, however, we're not sleeping. And there's when you understand the mechanics behind that, it's easier than you think. For the people here, everyone here, what is the number one thing that keeps you up at night?
Worrying.
What?
Worrying.
Worrying. Does that about cover it? Have you ever been tired, relaxed, watching a movie, eyes closing, reading a book, and all of a sudden you get up to go to bed, get nice and cozy, and hello, wide awake? So what's causing that? Worry is one word, but worry, what is worry? Worry are thought forms popping into your head. And those thought forms, although they may seem harmless, create an adrenaline rush that's equivalent to a couple of cups of coffee. So what do? Well, what you do first is go back to what we did when we were children, or what we've done with our own children. With children, we give a bedtime routine if we want them to go to sleep successfully. And that involves, anybody want to offer what that involves? Comfy pajamas. We put them in something that feels good.
A story.
A story gives them an imagery to go to sleep with, to distract them from thinking about, why am I going to bed? I don't want to go to bed now. As you tell them the story, you capture their attention. We may put on soft music or sing a lullaby. All very soothing to the five senses. And the child goes to bed. However, we're still not sleeping. Does anybody here have a bedtime routine that they do every night consistently?
Would you repeat that?
Does anyone here have a bedtime routine that they do every night consistently? Can you share it?
Yes, if it's not too intimate.
Well, well, wait a minute.
No, I found that what I was reminded of that when you mentioned the storytelling to a child. I have been for years listening to books on tape.
Good.
Just, you drift right off.
You drift right off. You're listening to something else other than your thoughts. To understand insomnia, we need to understand worrying, or what we call stress. Would you all agree that it's stressful thoughts, stressful thinking that keep you up at night? We think about everything, you know, from the most minor, I'm not getting, and then to the most major. And what the thoughts become are projections, pictures that are going down. Now, where are they going down to? Well, in order to understand what's going on, we need to understand how we're wired. We say I or me, you know, wake up, Penny, that's cheating. We say I or me as if we're this one big thing. However, what I've discovered in my studies were that everybody is composed of 4 different things, and it's kind of, people are like automobiles. You take your automobile to the mechanic because something's wrong. The mechanic looks at the car. Now, he doesn't just look at it and say, oh yeah, I can look outside and know exactly what's wrong. No. He takes each system apart individually. He has to look at the starter, which starts the car, see if something's wrong with that. The internal combustion system may be off. Maybe the radiator has a hole. Each system needs to function properly in order for the car to run properly. And what I discovered is people are wired pretty similarly. And I'm going to explain that model to you by this little model here. We're going to go, I put this model so we can move quickly through this to get to the fun part. Okay, the model is mind-body mechanics. And what I've done is break the body down into 4 parts. Now, 3 of these parts you're very well familiar with. We're all familiar with the words of these parts. Spirit. We're familiar with mental body. People talk about mental body. They talk about physical body. The body that we're just learning about is this little emotional body that we call feelings. And we say, well, it's just my feelings. I can't stop thinking about this and worrying about this, and then I feel like I can't sleep. I feel all jittery, right? Well, spirit, for our purposes, for the mind-body mechanical model, is simply breath. People say just breathe, relax, just breathe, okay? Breath is not, and we talk about spirit, we think in terms of religion. People right away say, when I say in my practice, are you spiritual? They say, oh, no, I'm not spiritual. Thinking, equating spirituality with religion, it's not. It's just breath, simply breath. You breathe, the physical machine turns on. And it stays on until you stop breathing, and then it dies. Breathing, breath, spirit is critical in the awake state and in the sleeping state. 24/7, you need to get the breath in the body. The mental body are our thoughts. What I think. I'm thinking this, I'm thinking that. They're thoughts, they're thought forms, they're pictures that are formed by a million different associations and projections and what we've learned to think. How we think, how we process the world is actually learned behavior. It's a mindset that we developed in the home of origin. So, every day we have an average of 60,000 random thoughts popping into our head in the course of the day. From the time we wake up, right? It's a million of them. You've been thinking about different thoughts here. You know, am I comfortable? What is she going to talk about? This feels like school. I don't want to do this. Hey, any of you who slept during class, this is a great way to put you to sleep. You want to go to sleep? Read a textbook. It'll put you to sleep really quick. The physical body is just a machine. When there's no breath, you have a cadaver. You just have a machine. The machine stays. Without the breath, it doesn't function. The emotional body is in a place, part of the brain, where the chemicals are held, produced. So if you think of the brain, Woody Allen had a movie once about a little conductor in somebody's brain pulling different chemicals, which I don't even mention. But the emotional brain is in the subconscious. Mental body is the conscious brain. We talk about consciousness. The emotional brain is subconscious, and it's all the chemicals. And the chemicals get triggered, first of all, by the 5 senses. There's a little part of the brain called the fight or flight center. Are you familiar with that term? Fight or flight. Punch somebody, anger or fear, run away. Fight or flight, same chemical that's triggered when you either are angry or you are in fear. The fight or flight center is what's keeping you awake at night. Now, how does that work? Now, we hear these terms, but not quite sure exactly. We know what it feels like, fight or flight. Your heart beats fast, you can't, you get short breaths, you feel sweaty, your hands may shake, you may have one foot on the other, when your feet are crossed, one foot bounces on the other. We just feel like literally we want to jump out of our skins. But what it is, when you understand the chemical chain of events and what it's affecting and how it's starting, that's the key to turning it off. Just like the mechanic, he has to investigate all the different systems to find the one that's out of whack. And he tweaks one, something else adjusts, the car runs properly. So, the fight or flight center in animals is there for the survival of species, is to keep the animal alive from physical danger. It's triggered by the five senses. So, with dogs, take a dog, is laying on the floor in a resting state. Nice and relaxed, nothing's going on. All of a sudden, he either hears, sees, tastes, touches, or feels something different. He doesn't think, is this dangerous? Should I do anything? Within an instant, his posture changes. Cortisol, the anxiety chemical, is released from the brain. The cortisol goes to the adrenal glands, and the adrenal glands send a burst of additional adrenaline to the heart. The heart gets the burst of adrenaline and sends additional blood, this is important, to the three defense organs. So the animal is prepared in an instant to defend itself from physical danger. The blood goes to the arms, the legs, and the jaw. It doesn't go to the whole body. Arms, legs, jaw, so you can hit harder, run faster, climb faster, bite harder. Now, the ears go back, hypervigilance. The animal is now focused on what's going on, hyperfocus. The stomach secretes a burst of gastric juice, so that if the animal has a big meal, the blood and oxygen needed to digest the meal does not take away from him surviving. So, gastric juice dissolves the meal, so the blood and oxygen go to the arms, legs, and jaw. Now the animal's ready to defend itself. Oh, and the respiratory system takes in more oxygen, so we can breathe. The muscles, the big muscles have more blood and more oxygen. That's a great system. In an instant, the animal's ready. The hair goes up on the back of the spine, the ears go back, the teeth are bared. However, the dog is in real time. Real time, moment to moment, living in the moment, in the power of the moment. The animal looks around. If it's another dog or danger, it will react by running or fighting. If it's just a book dropped or you came home, the animal in an instant, the cortisol is turned off, the animal goes into resting state. And maybe endorphins are released because you're associated to pleasure. So now, this emotional body, this chemical body, which was triggered in turmoil by the cortisol, is now calm again, and the physical body is relaxed. However, man evolved. We're so much better than the animals because our cerebral cortex developed, our thinking brain. The chemical center is in the old brain, it's the animal brain, it's in the machine. However, the mental body, what we refer to is expanded consciousness. Has anyone here, I'm sure a lot of you have heard of the book, The Power of Now? Eckhart Tolle, okay? Talks about the power of keeping your thoughts in the moment. Because what happens with expanded consciousness, we have the ability to think beyond the moment. We can think in the past, way into the past, to something that happened when we were 3 years old, 4, or when we were 16, or when we were 25. We can think in the present, what we rarely do, or we can project into the future, based on what might happen, based on our past thoughts. round and round and round. 60,000 random thoughts. Every thought is triggering a chemical reaction, either positive or negative. If we think a pleasant thought, a happy thought, cortisol. The body goes into a nice pleasant state, optimum functioning. Negative thought depletes the dopamine center. And the muscles are literally depleted of energy. The physical body responds immediately to what we are thinking. Fearful or angry thoughts put the body in a state of fight or flight. Now, all right, blood is filling up the arms, legs, and jaw. Negative thought, fearful thought, angry thought. Now the body's ready, but you're just sitting in a chair thinking, or lying in bed. Say you're lying in bed. And then you think another thought, yeah, that shouldn't have happened. And then they did, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to get back, or oh my God, if this doesn't happen, what's going to happen tomorrow? What am I going to do in 3 months? What's going to happen? Every thought creates an image that goes to the chemical center of the brain and releases chemicals. In the case of fear or anger, it releases more cortisol. And the adrenal glands send the signal to the heart to pump more blood to the defense organs. The stomach gets another burst of gastric juice. The respiratory system is bringing in more oxygen because, again, the emotional body is a machine. It doesn't think. It doesn't know, oh, you're just thinking. So what happens is everything starts backing up. The heart is trying to pump blood into the arms, legs, and jaw, which are already full. So imagine a bicycle pump. You're pumping, pumping, pumping. The tire is full, but somebody says, keep on pumping. No, you can't stop. You keep pumping, and you start hitting resistance. So you feel your heart. It feels like it's beating. It's not beating faster, it's just hitting resistance because you didn't release the arms, legs, and jaw. The respiratory system's trying to take more air into the body, which is already full of oxygen, because it hasn't released it. It's got too much. Your whole body gets tense. Over time, you get fatigued. Your muscles get fatigued. The stomach gets too much gastric juice. You get acid reflux or irritable bowel, which a lot of these, when you're laying down at night, seem to be more pronounced. The legs. When the blood is being pushed to the legs, and this state, by the way, has a name. It's called freeze. Fight, flight, or freeze. You're now frozen. Your body is like frozen. It's like an overfilled water balloon. The legs are getting more and more blood, so we get now, the doctors, the pharmaceuticals have now decided a good word for this. Wow, you can't sleep. Oh my goodness, when I'm in bed I feel like my legs want to jump out of my skin. Restless leg syndrome. Restless leg syndrome, so you get a pill to calm the cortisol release. Okay? The adrenal glands are producing adrenaline, so each burst of adrenaline is like a cup of coffee. So now everything is, you're laying there and these thoughts are triggering adrenaline, putting your body in a frozen state of fight or flight, which makes you feel like you want to jump out of your skin because your body is getting the signal, run or fight, and yet your mind is just churning, not things that are happening in the moment, but just projections. So how does now your spirit, the breath, can't get in anymore. So what do? Well, fortunately, there are three tools I'm going to give you that you do, and they're on the back table. I have a little pamphlet for these. The first thing you're going to do is these are the four functioning machine bodies. You're going to become the mind-body mechanic, which means you are going to bring something wonderful that human beings also have. In addition to expanded thought, we have the power of awareness of our thoughts. We can actually be aware of what we're thinking, should we choose to. So, first thing is keep your awareness on if your body is feeling uncomfortable. That's a signal that your thoughts are not in balance and in truth of the moment. Okay? Everything's happening every day all around us. There are a million things, both good and bad, where we choose to focus, even if it's focusing on nothing at the moment, gives us control of the physical machine, because by controlling and shifting our thoughts, we control the chemical flow. So the first thing you want to do, I guess I can do this now. I'm going to use this instead.
All right.
The first thing you want to do is be aware when you are feeling in distress, not feeling good, or dis-ease, out of comfort, not feeling at ease in your body. So, what do? The first thing we want to do is get our body back in balance. So you're going to use your breath to do that. And I'd like you all to just take your finger without thinking about it and put where your breath goes into your body right now as you're breathing normally. Okay. Here's an interesting fact. Animals are in fight or flight 3 to 5% of the day. Human beings, because of expanded consciousness, are in fight or flight 85% of the day. Coincidentally, 85% of our 60,000 random thoughts are negative. And remember, the 5 senses are picking up all the time too. They're picking up images, they're picking up audio from the TV, from the radio, from the newspapers. And what sells newspaper and radio and TV time? Shock and awe. They want your attention. What grabs your attention? Fear and anger. So they bombard us with these negative images. If you are watching TV, watching the news at night, you're not going to be sleeping. Because even if you're saying, oh, it's just the news, I don't care, your machine, your emotional body is getting all of the negative images of fear, and it's triggering cortisol. Okay? First thing, in the truth of the matter, whatever's happening in the world, unless it's happening right where you are and affecting you directly, put it off till tomorrow. Don't think about it. Because thinking about it does nothing. Positive action does something. If you want to do something, take a pause. Think about an action that you can do to make you feel better or to affect what's bothering you. But to just think about something does nothing except put you in a state of tension and dis-ease. So, when you're in fight or flight, and this is called stress, it's called anxiety, call it fight or flight. It depotentizes it. It's not something from the outside coming at you. It's how we're processing what's happening around us. And when you relearn that, you get the power over over how you feel within your surroundings. So, first thing, I'm in fight or flight. Okay, so you're going to stop what you're thinking, shift your thought, and shift your focus onto your breath. And I'd like you to close your eyes, feet on the floor. Close your eyes, and I'd like you now to just take a nice easy breath in and exhale. Good. Another breath in and exhale. Nice and deep. Focusing on the exhale. Now another breath in, and on the exhale, think the word relax. And continue breathing with the word relax on each exhale. And notice the way the muscles on either side of your spinal column begin to expand and contract. And notice how the breath goes more deeply into your body. And each time you exhale, use the word relax. Now while you're breathing, I'd like you to notice how your body feels. And put your hand at how deeply into your body the breath is going now. Notice if it's going more deeply. Okay. How do you feel?
Less tense?
Less tense. You feel your muscles, your shoulders kind of relax? Did you feel a different change in your body? Did you feel a change in your body? Okay. That turns off the fight or flight. In fight or flight, you were holding your breath. The cycle of catastrophic thought is triggering more adrenaline, which is creating the tension in the physical muscles. When we do this, we stop. We shift our thought inside the body. The most important thing, too, is when you're in fight or flight, very often people feel they can't get enough breath. They can't breathe. It's not that you can't breathe. The opposite is true. People say, take a deep breath. No. Problem is, you try to take a deep breath, you can't breathe. You think, no. What you want to do is exhale a deep breath. Get the air out. And then a little breath in, because you're holding all this breath within the body. When you exhale it, you relax your body. You interrupt the cycle of catastrophic thinking that's creating the adrenaline rush. And now you have a choice from a calmer place, because when you're in fight or flight, you're bringing in oxygen. It can't get in the body. It goes up to the brain too fast, and the brain gets over-oxygenated, and you get cloudy, fuzzy thinking. The more stressed you are, you ever find, Janice, the more stressed you are, the less you can think? It's like, I can't believe I'm so rushed and I can't think straight. You got to release the breath. Release the breath. Get control of the cycle, because the cycle of catastrophic thought is creating a feeling of powerlessness. So now you've got your power back over your physical body. Now you've calmed down the emotional body. Now that word relax. When you want to turn off the fight or flight, when you just want to feel better. Animals breathe like this 95% of the day. We're maybe lucky if we get to this type of breathing naturally. 10 or 15%. We're walking around like machines, all stiff. What you want to do now is to take your thoughts and use them the same way they're being inappropriately used. We learn by repetition. When you want to learn your math tables, you repeat over and over and over. We're getting commanded by our thoughts. Oh no, we're in trouble. Oh no, oh no, oh no. What you're going to do now is use the same mechanics to start commanding your body to relax. 10 times. It takes about, like a couple of minutes for the fight or flight to start and for you to be aware of it. And if you don't send another fearful thought, it turns off naturally. So by using the word relax, we're number one, interrupting the thought. And secondly, we're commanding, giving a repetitive command without distraction of another thought on what you want your body to do. And it does. So, first of all, you want to relax your body. When you go to sleep at night, the first thing I want you to do, if you want to sleep, is I want you to do 10 deep breaths. And not deep, you don't have to be deep, just mindful breaths. When you're laying, now here's where your breath is supposed to go into your diaphragm, which is right above your belly button. So you can even put your hand there and make believe there's a balloon. And you bring the breath in, and you inhale, and the balloon blows up. You can feel your abdomen going up like a baby or an animal. You can see their bellies going up and down. Yours is supposed to do that, okay? With the word relax, and just follow what's going on in your body. Get out of your thoughts. Get out of your head. Now, that turns off the fight or flight. You turn off the fight or flight. You now have power over your body. Now you're going to take it one step further with a little self-hypnosis. Hypnosis is the repetition of suggestion while the mental body is in a calmed state and the physical body is calm. Okay? Guided relaxation. So now you've guided your body through your breathing into a state of relaxation. Now, through repetition, you go. Now, the last thought of the day is what your subconscious works on all night long. So, if you're laying there at night worrying, you're churning adrenaline, and also, even if you do get to sleep, you're not going to go into a deep sleep because your subconscious, which is working for you, is going to be working on solutions. Or so you wake up in the middle of the night, people fall asleep, and then they wake up, and they don't know why they wake up. You want to program, just like the bedtime story, you want to program yourself to sleep. So you give yourself, this is a universal suggestion, whatever suggestion you want, but you want to do it a one-liner, what you're going to do, how you're going to feel, you know, and how it's going to be. The universal is, and it's in this pamphlet I have for you, is every day in every way I get better and better. Or you can say every day in every way I feel better and better. 10 times. 10 is the magic number. Every day in every way I feel better and better. Or I get better and better. And while you're saying that, imagine whether financially, if you want to, you know, financially have more money, imagine checks coming in the mail. All right? Imagine it's zero in your, you know, credit card accounts. You can use your imagery to, you know, if it's, you know, if you want to make any kind of physical change, whatever you want to see, you know, see yourself eating better, see yourself exercising, getting better and better, positive images. 10 times, every day in every way I get better and better. But people say, you don't understand. You don't understand how bad it is. It really doesn't matter to your body how good or bad it is, because your body doesn't know the difference outside of what you're telling it. But if you tell it positive, you clear your mind, and throughout the night, your body, your subconscious, which is your master memory bank from the time you're born, looks for solutions. There is there is a parable of the two wolves. Have anyone heard this? The parable of the two wolves? It's the third tool. I'm giving you 3 mind-body mechanical tools for self-empowerment to get control of yourself and your body and to sleep better. Because when you calm the fight or flight, when you feed positive suggestions at night, then your body machine can go into a deep sleep state. Otherwise, it's very hard for it to. So the parable of the two wolves is, one day there was an old Cherokee who was with his grandson, and he was telling him about a fight that goes on between us all. And the fight is between two wolves. One is good, one is evil. The evil wolf is anger, jealousy, regret, guilt, shame, ego, inferiority, envy, you name them, all the bad ones that we learned about. Negative emotions that make us feel bad. The good emotions, he said there's a good wolf. The good wolf is, kindness, generosity, compassion, faith, hope, love. Those are the good wolves. So the little boy thought about it for a minute, and then he says to his grandfather, well, which one wins? And the grandfather said, the one you feed. What you thoughts, this is mindful thinking, what you choose to feed your subconscious controls how you feel and your reality. When we meditate, for stress, meditation is a great tool. Yoga is a great tool. In both cases, meditation, you clear your mental body of thought while you focus on your breathing. When you clear and mental thoughts are simply thought forms. They have no basis in they're forms, they're projections. So you can make believe they're bubbles and you take a pin and pop them. That's fine. However you choose to suspend your thoughts and release them. When you clear your head of thought, one method is to think of them as clouds passing and just let them pass out of the way and focus on your breathing. Again, as you shift to focus on your breath, it's hard to be thinking and engaging your thoughts while you're thinking about your breathing. The chemical body calms down and the physical body does absolutely nothing because it's not being commanded to do anything. It simply does nothing. With yoga, you're being guided to focus on what your body's doing, positions your body's doing. A lot of those positions are energetic to release stress and tension. And it's also, while you're following a yoga teacher, because it's a lot about balance, it's very hard to be thinking about something else, at least for me, because you really can't hold your postures. Again, it's suspending the mental body and giving the physical body a command to relax. Even with yoga, it's you know, you have you know, certain positions, but then afterwards everything relaxes. You can give yourself the same kind of guidance. People can use songs, popular songs. The most popular probably songs you can find every summer, or somebody comes out with a song about being happy, positive feelings, because I'm happy. And as you hear it, songs are repetitious. You hear them over and over, and as you listen to a song, all of a sudden your subconscious starts, without you even knowing it, responding, and you feel good. You feel happy. And it's very powerful. So, for sleep, when you get in comfortable pajamas, make sure your room is nice. Use the 5 senses like we do with children. Same thing. Soft lights. Music, if you want, is lovely. Soft sheets. Get into a nice, comfortable space. Do not watch TV. I mean, unless it's comedy. If you want to watch comedy, because that's okay. But you may stay a little longer, but you'll be doing it laughing, and you'll sleep afterwards. Then, consciously, mindfully, relax your body with your breath. And the word relax at each exhale. Then give it a positive suggestion. Again, one is every day in every way I get better and better, or every day in every way I feel better and better. Every day in every way life gets more and more abundant. Doesn't matter, just a one-liner, you can create your own, but the consistency of the 10 repetitions. You keep on, count on your fingers until it's 10. And then, think of a positive place, a beautiful place in your mind that you've been to or would like to go. And just feed that image and imagine what it would be like if you were lying on the beach in St. Thomas maybe, or going to Machu Picchu because it's such a beauty, someplace, or in the clouds, doesn't matter where. Give your subconscious images and you will be amazed at how much better you sleep. I am going to now, well, the lights are pretty dim, put on a little bit of music. If you could turn the DVD just a little bit up, I'm going to do just a little guided relaxation with you for 5 minutes. It's on the DVD CD button, dial. See it? No. It's on the dials, on the second row of dials.
I did what I thought was turned on.
I think it's turned. It's in there. You just have to maybe turn it on. Doesn't matter. If we don't have the music, we can. While we're waiting, does anybody have a question or? No?
The thoughts. Do you think that your subconscious is undermining you?
Your thoughts, it's not your subconscious, it's undermining you, and that's a good question. From the time you're born, your subconscious is like the hard drive of a computer. And everything that comes in, first of all through the 5 senses, is being reacted to. Like in little programs, like you burn yourself, you remember later on, you go through heat, and you'll automatically go like this, all right? So your thoughts are being fed to the chemical center, and likewise, like Pavlov's dogs, the reverse is also happening. Your subconscious is reminding you, but it might not be appropriate because the things you learn in your, we call adult child home of origin, are now becoming programs. Our inner voice is the voice of the people who raised us saying, don't do that, not safe, not good enough, no, avoid that. So yeah, by understanding and controlling your thoughts first of all, and then you can look to see where you're hitting resistance or where you're responding where you don't want to, that are sabotaging you, and then start planting a different program. No, that's not the way I choose to behave. That's not the way I choose to think. But it takes 21 to 30 days to reframe and program on the subconscious level. So first is awareness, and then it's practice, practice, practice. When you find yourself thinking or reacting the way you don't want to, what you do then is stop and say, isn't this interesting? Not isn't this good or bad, isn't this interesting? I wonder where this is coming from. And we have words, the inner child, the inner adolescent. It's just programs. And you can change them by being aware of them and not thinking this is just the way I am. And I am going to just, oh, that's okay, we got it. All right, now what I'm going to have you do now, if you choose, see is that it might have turned off. You might need to turn it on again. Yeah, and lower. Yeah, thank you. I don't know if we can get any more lights off, but if not, maybe we can turn the lights off because we have light outside. It's not very dark.
Sure. Well, we can turn.
Anything you can turn off would be
Turn
good
those-
because it's plenty of light out. That's good. Perfect. That's good. Okay. Huh? Yeah. Just everybody, just relax. Put your feet on the floor. We have somebody who's practiced in this before. Okay. All right, and you're just going to close your eyes. And can you turn it down a little bit lower, please? Nice and easy, okay. And again, just begin to follow your breath as it travels gently up and down your spinal column. And as you're relaxed, you can imagine that there's a ball of energy forming at the soles of your feet. And as you inhale, it begins to flow upward into your feet, relaxing all the muscles of your feet and toes. Just as though someone were giving you a nice, gentle foot massage. And now the energy flows into your ankles and up into your calves. And all the muscles there relax, responding to the energy. And now the energy flows into your thighs, over your knees, and all your fine muscles relax as the energy flows into your hips, base of your spine, responding to your desire to relax. Now the energy flows into your stomach and into your chest, and those muscles relax. You may feel some tingling as the energy flows up into your shoulders and down into your arms, your upper arms, your elbows, your lower arms, into your fingertips. Some people feel pins and needles in their fingertips when the energy reaches them, or warmth in the palms of your hands. Now the energy flows into your back muscles, the lower back, the middle back, up into the upper back, and all those muscles relax. And now the energy flows into your neck, the front of your neck and the back, and up into the base of your spine, and all those muscles relax. And now the energy flows over into your forehead and your eyebrows, and those muscles relax, and your eyelids, flows over your cheeks, down your nose, across your lips and your mouth. And as your mouth relaxes and your jaw relaxes, your teeth may part just slightly. Now your whole body is glowing with energy, every cell relaxing, replenishing, being restored. And now the energy flows out through the crown of your head, flowing downwards in all directions, enveloping you in a cocoon of relaxing energy. So just relax deeper and deeper, and in your mind go to a place you love, perhaps a favorite beach or a room. wherever you feel peaceful and relaxed. And just notice everything in this room. All of the colors around, or if you're outside, the colors of the sky and the clouds. Notice what's under your feet. Notice any familiar smells or sounds. Just take it all in as you go deeper and deeper, relaxing more and more fully. You're at a point of relaxation we'll call point A. But as deep as point A is, you can go even deeper. You can go down to level B and be 5 times more relaxed. I'm going to count to 3, and when I reach 3, you can go from level A down to level B and be 5 times as deeply relaxed. 1, 2, 3. But as deep as level B is, there's yet another level, level C, that's 25 times more deeply relaxed. And you can reach it very easily. I'm going to count from 1 to 5. And when I reach 5, you will drop from level B down to level C and be 25 times more deeply relaxed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Level C. 25 times more deeply in relaxation. Your mind is now very open to receive helpful suggestions I'm about to give you for a good night's sleep. You sleep very well each night, sleeping very soundly, going to sleep easily, waking only when necessary, but then going to sleep immediately when getting back into bed. You sleep soundly and awaken with very positive thoughts from the day, for the day. Positive thoughts, for you know that negative thoughts have no place in your mind. Negative thoughts now bounce off and away from you as though you were in Teflon. Negative thoughts bounce off and away, and you keep your mind filled with positive thoughts, because that is what keeps you deeply empowered and in control of your own life. Whenever you feel any kind of stress, you simply stop. Take a breath in, and on the exhale, think the word relax. You take 10 deep breaths in and exhale, and at the exhale, you think the word relax. It always works. All you need to do to relieve stress during the day is to stop. Take a deep breath, close your eyes, and on the exhale, think relax. And continue taking 10 deep breaths, and you are relaxed and back in control. It keeps you balanced and centered throughout the day and ready for a nice, deep, relaxing night's sleep each night. In a moment, I'm going to count from 1 to 5, and when I reach 5, you will emerge from this relaxation feeling better than you've felt for a long, long time, as though you've had a very, very deep nap or a 3-hour massage. 1, emerging from self-hypnosis. 2, feeling refreshed. 3, very confident. 4, relaxed and in control. And 5, awake and alert and feeling very refreshed. How do you feel? That is deep relaxation. That's the way your body's supposed to feel, right? This is self-hypnosis, and people think about hypnosis as being done to them. No one can be hypnotized against their control. Hypnosis is guided relaxation with the introduction of suggestion. Whether a clinical hypnotist gives you the suggestions or you give them to yourself, you only accept them if you want them. When you want to relax and relieve stress, when you want to know how to sleep better, you're very open, and your body relaxes and responds. This is the power you have within yourself to get a good night's sleep or to create any changes in your life that you want by shifting from negative to positive through awareness and thought, shifting your thoughts, taking control, mindful thinking. Any questions or did anybody feel any tingling or? Yes?
Does anybody feel dizzy getting out of this?
Yeah, you should
No, I'm
be.
just wondering.
Do you feel dizzy?
Yeah.
A little bit dizzy? Maybe you took a lot of deep breathing, maybe. Just relax. Anybody else? Huh? Good? Has anybody, did anybody notice they were more deeply relaxed than they used to being? Okay. This is what the tools and techniques help you to do. Control your body and how relaxed it is, no matter what's happening around you. Because we're only passing through moments. We tend to get stuck. Something happens, we tend to get stuck in it, and then start taking that one moment and start developing it and making pictures of it. You don't need to do that. Because life is going on all around us. You can focus on the most positive or the most negative. When you focus, then there's always something positive, even if it's just hope, even if it's just faith to shift your thought. If there's something going on that's difficult, challenging situation, then choose, spiritual program, spiritual breath, when you bring it in your body, everything expands and contracts. You say, this doesn't feel like anything. There's no weight to breath and no weight to air. It's powerful. It's moving your muscles in, back and forth. And when you think about that, bringing it in gives you support. And whatever else it is, you can let go. People who are spiritual beliefs say, let go and let God, or they say prayers. Whether that breath is whatever you assign to it, whatever belief format you use for it, it's powerful. And when you believe that you can just shift and put yourself in its hands, it's powerful also. That's why people use prayer at night, to suspend their thinking. Whatever you choose to think, controlling your breathing is the key to keeping because that breath needs to come in all the way. And when your thoughts are pushing it out, that's ego. Wait a minute. Suspend your thinking and just see where everything's going. With faith, hope. Well, I thank you very much for all coming. And I have a pamphlet with the 3 tools and techniques for keeping calm amidst the chaos, or for sleeping better at night, or for stopping any kind of habits that you don't want to have. Addictions are self-medicators for stress, which is this cycle of catastrophic thought pattern. You name it, it affects everything. Our 85% of our modern illnesses and disorders are created by this little evolutionary glitch. The subconscious does not realizing that what we're mentally thinking is not actually happening in the moment, and it keeps responding. So we're just this is higher enlightenment, we're teaching it. Can I help you? Do you have a question?
No, I have a question. I want to tell you what I did because I couldn't stand not going to sleep because I kept thinking of everything that was going to happen or that had happened that day. And I closed my eyes and I visualized these, I don't know, mountains, waves, whatever.
Right.
And I said, sleep, sleep, sleep. How I love to sleep. And I just
Beautiful.
kept repeating it
Beautiful.
and repeating it. Didn't take long before I went to bed.
Beautiful. That's an
I had to do
affirmation.
both. Yes, and I just
Affirmation.
It's
Saying
just-
what you want it to be. Not I hate going to bed because I never go to sleep. I hate going to bed. How many people have tell themselves that?
right.
Right? I don't sleep. I don't sleep. I don't sleep. The subconscious hits the bed and right away it says, oh, we got to stay awake. They don't sleep, right? Tell yourself you love how easy it is for you to sleep at night. And that's perfect. Every night I sleep easily and deeply. As soon as you start hitting the bed, that's a great affirmation. It's easier than you think. Listen to music. I have, guided, I have recordings that people listen to, guided relaxation. You got one. Did it work? Did it help?
I have to get my son to move it on to a different
Playlist, right?
But it's good. It's good. You're always
It distracts, whether you do it yourself or you listen to a recording of guided relaxation by somebody else. It's interrupting the catastrophic cycle of thought that the expanded consciousness is creating. That is screwing up the chemical flow. Okay? Simplify it. Depotentize it. When you're the mechanic looking at it, you can fix it. Otherwise, when you're in the middle of it saying, there's nothing I can do, there's nothing I can do, that's an illusion, there's nothing you can do. This is a glitch in evolution, and we're just starting to understand it. Because medically, they're chemically treating the body, but they're not going up high enough. And the psychotherapists are identifying the issues, but then you got to clear them on the emotional body. That's where the energy work comes in. They all need to be used in conjunction with one another. You can't take one body out and ignore it and expect the whole machine to work.
Don't you think that would help PSTD
Yes,
soldiers?
I do. Yes, I do that. No, yeah, but they don't. The doctors don't understand what hypnosis is. They don't get it.
They don't
Yes,
get it?
the images in the subconscious with hypnosis, guided relaxation, suspends the mental body. That is keeping them for protection. Because what if it happens again? The mental program can be literally dumped, deleted. The image. And if it's not dumped, the fight-flight center is hypersensitized and keeps bringing it up when anything even remotely connected comes up, which you don't even know about, and throws the images back up. Remember, like Pavlov's dogs. It works beautifully, but the medical community doesn't understand it, and the insurance companies don't support it. And they don't want to hear, because they're looking at the doctors are looking at the physical machine. I don't want to know what the psychotherapists or the energy people are doing. The psychotherapists don't want the hypnotist because they're afraid they'll lose their business, because if you clear this stuff, when they don't have to come back to me to talk about stuff. Nobody's working together. The spiritual teachers have wonderful, power of now, affirmations, and wonderful books, but your everyday person doesn't read them because they think, oh, that's that spiritual stuff. I'm not spiritual. Don't cry over spilt milk. See the glass half full, not half empty. Our mechanical tools, powerful for self-empowerment. But we don't use them ourselves. We teach them to kids, and then the milk falls and the mother's screaming, "Look what you did!" Instead of saying, "Oh, it's a milk spilt. We're going to clean it up, and we're going to." So it's passed on. So everybody, ADD, PTSD. I was talking to a client today with dyslexia, with a very difficult background. When a child is trying to learn and constantly, being yelled at, they can't learn properly. Nothing works. It's like the circuits aren't working properly. I use this for everything. Fertility, I use it for, infertility. When someone's afraid they're not going to conceive, there's no blood in the uterus, not enough blood in the uterus, and oxygen to hold the egg. Once they relax, they adopt, they have a baby, then guess what? Or the images are that they're not going to conceive. With hypnosis, you plant images that they have the baby in their arms already. So when the mind says, oh no, the subconscious says, no, it's there already. We got it. And it relaxes. Very powerful. And applies. I work with addiction. I work with cancer care. Anything where people feel powerless triggers fear and self-medicating behaviors that don't help. But this was just a little nutshell. I appreciate you're all listening, and I hope you learned a lot from it. I have the pamphlet, I have my cards, and I'm always happy to share, because to me this is the medicine of the future. It has to be, because we're just overusing chemicals to medicate chemicals that the thought process is triggering, and we're not addressing how to change everything. But I am.
We need more people like you in the veterans hospitals. Maybe those doctors would accept it.
Of course. No, I actually I left cards at the VFW, but people don't know what I do. They don't, because what I do is uniquely what I do. Nobody else is doing this. It doesn't have credibility to it. It's interesting, because I studied, I got a BA in neuropsychology. I was a single mother. I didn't want to go on to my PhD, but meanwhile I studied energy healing because I found it interesting. And then I studied with a spiritual teacher because I could do that while I was working. Had I gone to the traditional route, I wouldn't have learned about energy or about spirituality, and I wouldn't have had all the pieces. This gave me a very unique view because they don't teach all of this until I get there and teach it to them. But,
Wonderful.
yes. Thank you. Thank you.